Welcome to We'll Fix It in Post, old ass movie reviews, where we review fucking. What was the line again? You did it last week.
We review movies for free night.
No, we review movies pre-99 for free 99.
Yes.
Pre-99 for free 99.
Keep it. Yeah, keep it.
Yeah.
This is the episode.
Yeah,
We're going.
Can we write it? Can we write it down so we don't forget it next time?
Probably
He
not.
said he was going to, and then here we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just add it to the name of the show. It'll be funny because I just want to have the longest named show ever.
We could do
There we
that.
go.
Yeah, that might work.
Options.
Anywho, today we have special guests for our fourth installment and final installment for Women's History Month. Correct? That's it, right? We ran out of days.
Yeah,
That is correct. You
This
ran
is
out
our
of days.
redemption episode for the tumultuous fucking Women's History Month we have had.
Redemption
It has
part.
been ups and downs.
Redemption part 2, because last week was a feel good one too.
Last week was pretty good. That was a feel good movie. Nobody died. I mean, it's
Nobody really died in this movie.
Well, no,
It's still
not really,
it's
but,
it's not that people
complicated.
die. It's
Yeah.
complicated. Yes.
Yeah, it's not the most feel good, but it's not the most feel bad. Right.
No, not at all.
It's
It's actually
not,
kind of funny.
Yeah, it's not a woman
I-
under the influence. That's for sure.
I felt good and left.
I'm happy for you.
I felt good and left.
No, this movie was definitely had its comedy. It literally says comedy/romance. So yeah, that's about right. 1996's The Watermelon Woman by Cheryl Dunye.
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 Cheryl Dunye. This was suggested to us by our special guest this week, Feli
It's me.
Maynard. We have Feli in the building, one of my very, very good friends, somebody I love dearly. More
I
than
love you
Joe.
too.
I don't know if that's obvious.
I mean, that's a very low bar you're setting. It's a very low bar you're setting for Feli. Don't do that to them.
I like
Don't do
Feli
that.
more. Just in case that wasn't
Not the
clear.
low bar. Okay.
He's putting it in the dirt now.
Ooh, not in the dirt.
Yeah. So this was a suggestion by Feli to save our show from being canceled before we even get fucking anywhere with this shit. 1996. What do you got for us, Joe?
So the IMDb synopsis. So what we do generally, we do an IMDb synopsis to see if IMDb gets it right. So here is the synopsis. A young black lesbian filmmaker probes into the life of the Watermelon Woman, a 1930s black actress who played Mammy archetype. So that is a fairly broad but decent synopsis. So they hit it on that
It's pretty
one.
spot on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The cast is Cheryl Dunye. Diana is Guinevere Turner, who had a little career after. I think she was in the L Word, if I'm not mistaken. I watched that
She did
show.
look
Second.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a quick second. Mhm.
Tamara was Valerie Walker. Lisa Marie Bronson was the Watermelon Woman. And that's all. So those are the four that IMDb really gave me. Bob, look, shout out to Bob. Bob is funny. I don't know who Bob is, but shout out to Bob.
Bob was pretty funny.
I don't know who Bob is.
Funny.
Creepy, but funny. But
Yeah, he
it
played
worked.
pretty
Absolutely
good.
creepy.
So I'll do a little trivia. Wasn't a lot of trivia here. The scene from the faux 1930 archival film Plantation Memories was directed by Douglas McCown and co-written by McCown and Cheryl Dunye. In 2021, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. According to writer-director Cheryl Dunye, much about the character she plays in the film is autobiographical, but the historical references to the Watermelon Woman are fictional. The Watermelon Woman came from the real lack of any information about the lesbian and film history of African-American women. Since it wasn't happening, I invented it. That's what Cheryl said. Don, 1996. What do you got?
Another Snapple fact.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to find it, but I believe this is one of the first wide release films by openly gay lesbian director. No.
I do not want to quote you on that.
I read it somewhere. And I can't find it.
I don't know if I could give you maybe American mainstream is. I mean, I don't even know if I would call this mainstream though.
Something to
This
that
wasn't.
effect.
This was more on the independent movie channels.
Yeah.
This was more like Sundance and
I remember.
the situation.
I remember seeing this growing up on IFC when I was a kid. When IFC was an actual film channel and not a reality television show channel as it is today.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Don?
She is known as the first out black lesbian to ever direct a feature film with her 1996 film, The Watermelon Woman. Okay, got it. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
Wikipedia, which it's anybody.
Which is always true and never lies. I'm the Pope.
So what we're gonna do here? We're gonna start off with what happened 1996. Yeah,
Yep.
We're gonna do that.
Yep.
A couple things. Oh, here comes the sleepy. As soon as I start reading white facts, I get tired. Oh, Osama bin Laden issues message entitled "A Declaration of War Against the Americans Occupying the Land of the Two Holy Places." He needs an editor. That was in August.
And guess what? He followed through. He followed through.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
No?
U.S. President Bill Clinton signs welfare reform into law, representing major shift in welfare policy.
Didn't follow through.
Yeah.
After 27 years, Betty Rubble debuts as a Flintstone vitamin. What was
Rubble, yeah.
Rubel?
Oh, gosh.
You made her the owner of Studio 54.
Why didn't they not have Betty Rubble?
Well, it was Fred, Wilma, Bam Bam, and Pebbles, I think, were the only four. Or Barney.
Yeah, why did they ban Betty?
Shh.
Maybe she was too sexy. Who knows?
So what color was she? Or did they all come in different
She was
colors? No,
the
they
one
all
with
had
the
specific
blue.
colors, right?
Yeah.
She had the blue on.
Dino was purple.
Yeah.
Fred was orange.
Wilma was white.
Was she?
No, I don't have white.
She had no
vitamins.
color white.
I don't
What are y'all
I
talking
feel
about?
like
The
she would've been
vitamins.
Red. The vitamins.
Oh,
Remember
the
tube of
vitamins. I didn't know. Honestly, I was lost for the
No, you're
last 2
fine.
minutes. I don't know what y'all was talking
You're
about.
fine.
What are you talking about?
I thought y'all was going off a character,
No.
costume,
the vitamins,
colors.
Vitamins. Yeah.
I used to pop those vitamins like they were
Everyone did.
Yeah,
Everyone did.
I know. I definitely ate my
Like,
too
It
many.
was like dinner.
That's
I
why
was-
COVID didn't kill me. That's how I survived COVID. 80 bottles of Flintstone vitamins.
for now. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the healthiest one in the room with those Flintstone vitamins.
I can't.
A blizzard buries eastern U.S., causing at least 50 deaths. That was in 96. I do
Blizzard in
remember
96?
Blizzard in
I
96.
feel like I
Yeah.
remember that. I
That
think
shit
I
was
remember
nuts.
that.
That was like
Yeah.
38 inches of snow.
And they
I
still
was-
made us go to school.
Oh yeah, I was in living in Brownsville at that time on Picking and Rockaway. We lived in an apartment above a Dominican-owned travel agency. The
Interesting.
first floor, so not ground level, but the first floor up was me, my brother, my mom. The second floor is my uncle, my aunt, and 96 actually was when my cousin was born, Sincere. But my uncle,
The whole family in one apartment building.
yeah.
Holding
And,
shit.
and Rottweiler Magic. That was the family dog. Big ass, huge dog.
That sounds like a
but-
sitcom.
It was.
It does.
That
it was
really
something.
sounds like a
That apartment
sitcom.
was huge.
That's a Puerto Rican
Huge
sitcom.
apartment. It was really
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
We jumped out of the first floor window into the giant banks of snow because remember they were like 10 feet high. Those banks of snow.
That was
was
the
insane.
craziest snow I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
And
It was
and,
crazy.
and yes, the school was open, and I didn't have an excuse because I literally lived around the corner from my middle school.
Yeah. For the first time in 25 years, no one was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Why was that?
Okay.
It was a down year, I guess.
Trash.
So you just said
Down
everybody's trash.
Yeah,
Just trash.
yeah. Some people,
Everyone.
there were some years people don't get in. There was another year in like 2013 or 14, somebody didn't get in. No, nobody got in. It happens.
Trash.
That's wild.
It happens.
I don't think so. If the caliber ain't there,
Yeah.
what we giving passing out prizes for?
Like,
I mean,
it's
but then
just
somebody got it the
kindergarten.
next year, so obviously that
Well-
person still wasn't playing.
Well, because it has to be 5 years after you retire.
And
And general, like the Football Hall of Fame is
You might not
trash.
qualify.
The Football Hall of Fame is trash because literally, if you win one Super Bowl, you can get into the Football Hall of Fame. It's the worst. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So we got first episode of TV sitcom Third Rock from the Sun was
That
1996.
show sucked. That show
Trash.
sucked.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched it back. I have no
You
idea.
don't need to.
Yeah, it was really
Why
bad.
are you gonna watch it?
I don't.
Just watch one of
I
those.
like John Lithgow.
No,
He's
watch
fine.
one of those. What's it called? Like We Love the '90s, like recap
Yeah.
shows, and you'll get the whole thing from there. You don't have to watch it.
11th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: David Bowie, Jefferson
Okay.
Airplane, Little
Good.
Willie John, Gladys Knight and the Pips,
Mm-hmm.
Pink Floyd,
Okay.
the Shirelles,
Mm-hmm.
the Velvet Underground,
Mhm.
Pete Seeger, and Tom Donahue.
Yeah, good year,
Alright.
except for Pete Seeger. That's a hell of a year you got going on there. Very good.
Who's Pete Seeger? Somebody white
He's
with
a
a guitar?
folk singer, a really shitty folk
White
singer.
with a guitar. Look at me. Got that. Right
But
on
most
the
of those were whites with guitars.
Yeah.
Except for
They
Gladys and the Pips. Yada, yada, yada. Baseball honors unanimously approved interleague play in 1997. So why is that telling me that about 96? You guys.
Because
come on,
they
get it
it's
together.
for the next year.
Who cares?
All right.
Okay.
You read it.
You listen. So what does that make you?
A willing participant to this show.
This is a lot of white facts. Skipping it.
Skip it.
Germany celebrates its first Holocaust Remembrance Day in 1996. What was that? January? Yeah, January 27th. There. Yada yada. Super Bowl 30. Who won the Super Bowl 30, Joe?
1996.
That's what I said.
It's either the Packers or
Nope.
no. 1990 Denver Broncos.
Incorrect. Dallas Cowboys beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. I'm gonna start betting you money on these things just to win
You
money.
You can.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to take your money.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. For things that I have no
clue
You-
about.
he has no
about
idea.
Has
whatsoever.
no knowledge.
He
But
has
I'm
no
looking
knowledge.
at the answer, so I feel like I have a good shot.
Yeah.
Future Basketball Hall of Fame Magic Johnson comes out of 5-year retirement, helps LA Lakers to 128 win 18 win over Golden
That's so
State.
random.
Yada yada yada. 5-year retirement and came back. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I never knew that.
So random.
You
I
didn't know
even
that?
you could do that.
No, I didn't. I don't follow sports. I have no idea.
Well, he got his HIV treated.
Right.
That he retired.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just know he had HIV and then he
Has.
stopped playing. Has HIV and didn't stop playing. I didn't know anything else past that.
No, he stopped playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he stopped playing, and then
Oh,
I
we
didn't know
didn't
he
know
came
that
back.
he came
I didn't
back.
know that. Tupac Shakur sentenced to up to 4.5 years in prison for sexual assault conviction. That happened in '96. Then he died the next year, right?
No, that year.
That year. Oh, yeah, that's right. The massive internet collaboration, yada yada yada.
No, that's the internet being invented, though.
Big whoopty do internet. Now look at
We're
us.
on it.
Bunch of fucking jerks. Look at us now. Skipping over facts, not knowing history.
Cowboys.
The Score, second studio album by the Fugees, is released.
Mhm.
I remember that vividly. That was played nonstop in my household.
Forever. Everywhere.
Yeah, nonstop. Death Row, Interscope Records releases rapper Tupac Shakur his fourth studio album, All Eyes on Me, because it's final release during his lifetime.
Mhm.
Yada yada. Howard Stern announces he'll be making the film Private Parts. We could do that one of these days. That shit was pretty crazy. It's terrible, but it's like, it's still pretty interesting.
Man, we'll
awful
talk
it
about
is.
that. We'll talk about that. That movie sucks.
It does suck. It's terrible.
It's not even, but it's not even funny. Like,
Again, that's one of those things where I have very
yeah,
vague memories of it.
you got
That's
vague memories of a
younger than
lot
I
of
should
shit
have.
we're doing here. You know?
It's kind of a. Oh, this is going month by. All right, fuck this. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
too-
Just
this is
get to the movies.
like this is way too many.
Get to who died, the
facts. I don't
movies.
need all these. Facts.
Yeah, you told me a lot of facts that I really don't.
I don't give a fuck about.
Bang
these
it out.
I
Come
don't.
on.
There we go.
Or
Okay.
even know.
Come on. Okay, people.
People died.
1996 film and TV. Blah blah blah. Trainspotting, directed by Danny Boyle.
Great film.
Yeah, cool. First ever appearance of Pokemon in role-playing video game Pocket Monsters Red and Green for Game Boy in Japan, 1996.
Interesting. Okay.
Pokemon
Japan.
was the
That
shit.
makes sense. You know, they're like
Pokemon was the
farther.
shit now.
Yeah, exactly.
I had red, blue, and yellow, and then I stopped. Everybody had the gold and the silver. I sort of stopped at red, blue, and
I
yellow.
got gold for my birthday, and then I was mad. My little brother was a hater, and he had to get silver. But it's like, bitch. And I
Play with
had the
your brother.
Pikachu
Play with
version.
your brother.
Yeah.
Fargo, directed and written by Joel and Ethan Coen, starring Frances McDormand, William H. Macy, and Steve Buscemi, released in the U.S.
Poster right there.
There
Poster.
you go. The Daily Show premieres on Comedy Central with Craig Kilborn.
It's good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
1996.
1996.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been that for
I remember the first iteration of the Daily Show was definitely not like the Jon Stewart Daily
What it
Show.
is now. Yeah.
It was super fun. Like, it was super sketchy. You know, it was
Yeah,
like a
it was
sketch
lighthearted.
comedy show.
Got it.
British girls group The Spice Girls released their debut single "Wannabe" in the UK.
Hey.
I was a Spice head.
I
That
had
one, yeah.
all the stickers and the
Yep.
lollipops
The
and all that
lollipops.
shit.
lollipops. The
Yeah.
lollipops.
Oh man.
American-
And I just recently
Mhm.
watched the movie. The movie's lit.
Spice World?
I
Yeah,
haven't
the
seen that
movie's
one in
lit.
a long time.
Yeah, it's been a
That'd be
while.
interesting.
Go watch
American
it.
punk rock band The Ramones performed for the last time at Palace in Hollywood,
Oh,
California.
that's sad.
Rap artist Tupac Shakur shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting, died 6 days later, September 7th. Okay. This is good. I got two things, because this is people born in 1996. There's
Yep.
only two.
There's only
people-
two, ever.
All right, these are two people of importance. There's also actors, that's next. But for some reason, it's highlighted these two
All
specific
right,
people.
go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one of them because
Just say it, because we can't
Joshua
guess it.
Wong Chi Fung. He's an activist and a politician. He was born in 1996.
Okay, next.
The next one is not a human being. Can anybody make a guess as to what this was?
It's a horse?
A fucking cartoon.
No,
It's not a
animal.
horse?
It's an animal. It is an animal.
Oh, it's
clone
the
pig.
clone sheep.
Dolly the sheep. Yes.
Yeah.
That shit. Yeah. The pig, the sheep, whatever.
But
They
you know
clone
that,
something.
and everybody was like wilded out by that, and the sheep died like a week later. I hope everybody just remembers that. Did not
Really?
live
So why
long.
do they have like a grown sheep here?
Well,
For the
it
picture?
was it cloned the
Because
grown
it
sheep.
cloned. Yeah.
They should. So fucking weird. White people are weird, man. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you people?
I didn't
Okay.
do anything. I was
Oh, that's the science community, my dude.
I was in the
Me too,
snow.
man. Okay, we have Haley Steinfeld, born 1996.
All right.
Stephanie
Who?
Scott. Haley Steinfeld.
Actually, she was in,
Pitch Perfect.
And also in, I think,
She was on a Marvel show
True
recently.
Grit, the Coen Brothers version of True Grit, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Stephanie Scott, another white. These are all white people except for one.
Okay.
Dove Cameron. I don't know who that is. Florence Pugh.
She's
She's cool.
Florence
I
Pugh.
like Florence Pugh. Tom Holland.
Mm,
Spider-Man.
mhm.
Zendaya.
Zendaya was born in 96.
96.
Wow.
Okay. Now we have
She's my brother's age. That's crazy.
another white person, same people, pretty much. Skipping musicians. I don't know. Oh, Lord. Cool. Athletes: Joe Burrow, Scotty Scheffler.
Quarterback and golfer.
Cool.
Okay.
People who died. Who's
Who
dead?
died? Who's dead? Who's dead?
Ooh.
Who's dead? Spyro Agnew.
Spiro Agnew.
His mother calls him Spyro. I'm going to call him Spyro.
Like the dragon.
Like the dragon. Another
David
game.
Yeah, me too.
McCampbell.
Huh?
David McCampbell.
Okay.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Francois Mitterrand.
Yeah, he was the prime minister, I think, of France, if I'm not mistaken.
Mary Leakey.
Mary Leakey, she MIT professor,
Carl Sagan.
scientist.
Jean Bedel Bokassa.
Don't know.
The dictator of Central African dictator.
Ah.
Fun. He has a lot of things on this thing. Actors who died: Gene Kelly, Greer Garson, Claudette Colbert, Walter Kerr, and Tupac Shakur. Musicians who died: yada same pretty. Oh, Ella Fitzgerald, Martin Gold, Gene Kelly, Tiny Tim.
Ah,
Athletes who died:
Interesting.
Renee Lacoste. Is that from the Lacoste?
that's
clothing?
Lacoste, yes.
Got it. Pete Rozelle
The commissioner of baseball.
and Tony Stone.
Yeah, I don't
Know who Tony Stone is?
Soccer?
Nope.
Football? No.
Nope. Made history in 1953 when she was signed by the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro Leagues, making her the first woman ever to play professionally in a men's league.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, full name is Marcinia Lyle Albert. Mersenia Lyle Alberga. Jesus Christ.
Menachem.
I had a stroke. Yeah. Cool. Oh, she died on my birthday.
Well, that's great.
No, not that part's not cool. I'm just saying cool. All right.
Yeah,
I
keep
didn't
it.
put enough space in between the last thing that I said and
You're putting too much space in between these facts. Keep going.
Next.
last thing here. Okay, here we go. The what you call it?
Oh,
Where is it? They didn't do it. Oh, there it goes. Who got Grammy? Who won Grammy for Album of the Year?
1996.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, Alanis Morissette.
Great.
Time Person of the Year, David Ho.
Huff?
Ho.
Don't talk about me that way.
I don't know.
He was an AIDS researcher, Taiwanese and American AIDS researcher.
Okay.
Many contributions to science. Oscar for Best Actress.
Frances McDormand.
Yep. Oscar for Best Actor.
1996. That's not Fargo. Fargo. Fargo won Best Picture, right?
I still don't know. You keep asking me that every fucking episode, and I tell you, they don't tell me what won Best Picture. It just tells me the people.
All right. Best Actor in 96. Give me the first letter of the first name.
G.
Jada.
G. It's not Clooney.
No.
This is going to take too long. Give me the
Jeffrey
last letter.
Rush.
I never saw anything he did.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Sports Person of the Year.
1996?
1996.
I don't know. Joe Torre?
Tiger Woods. Joe
Okay.
Torre. Oh, because of baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we have, what do we have here? 200 movies on this
20 to 1.
list of
20 to 1.
grossing. We're going to start with 200.
Yeah.
We're going to work our way back.
Yeah. Pack it in.
We're going to start from
20.
20. And this movie was not on the list, unfortunately.
Was
I
this?
wish there was a way to
Yeah, I guess we could
type it in and look it up. Yeah, you
Hold
look it
on,
up. See
hold
how
on.
much it made. Do it.
I'm doing it.
All right. So number 20, Courage Under Fire.
It's okay.
Okay. Number 19, I like this movie. The Cable Guy.
It's okay.
It's creepy. It was weird.
It made $42,735.
How many theaters was it released in?
I don't have information.
You have failed as a researcher. Number 18, Jerry Maguire.
That's a great movie.
Number 17, Broken Arrow.
That movie sucks.
16, Mr. Holland's Opus.
That movie sucks.
15, Space Jam.
Okay.
For the kids.
For the kids.
14, Star Trek, First Contact.
I had it. Come on.
13, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 12, I believe this would be John Travolta, Phenomenon.
That movie sucks.
Number 11, Eraser.
That's okay.
No.
Number 10, The First Wives Club.
That's okay.
Number 9, 101 Dalmatians.
I mean,
Number 8, Time to Kill. Number 7, The Birdcage.
Very funny. Still funny to this day.
yeah.
That's the one with
Robin Williams, Nathan
Robin
Lane.
Williams.
yes. I love that movie.
Yes.
Number 6, Ransom. Mel
Okay.
Gibson.
All right.
Number 5, The Nutty Professor.
Very funny.
Number 4, The Rock.
That movie sucks.
Sean Connery.
Movie sucks.
Number 3, Mission Impossible. Number 2, Twister.
What?
What'd you say?
Twister.
Twister.
Oh.
Twister. That was a big deal at the time because of the CGI.
Well, because of a cow flying.
Yeah,
great.
because the cow
It
flying
was
for a
great.
fucking
Yeah,
tornado.
movie sucks.
And let's give Felly the guess. Felly, what would
Okay.
you guess was the #1 movie of 1996?
I don't know what's not 1996. I was sleeping. I don't know. Is it a kids movie?
No, action movie,
It's an action movie.
sci-fi,
Sci-fi.
really big budget, really big deal,
I don't know. I was a child. What
really
was
big
it?
star as the lead actor.
White man?
Black man.
Black man? Denzel Washington?
No, not Denzel.
Will Smith?
Yes.
Was he collaborating with somebody?
Yeah, you could say that.
Was it Bad Boys?
No, not Bad Boys.
Can I
Go
get?
ahead. I
White
tap you in,
man.
Joe.
Would that be Men in Black?
Incorrect also. No.
Oh, it's Independence Day.
Yeah, and the
Damn.
collaboration was with Jeff Goldblum.
I thought Independence Day was 97.
What did I just read?
96?
Okay, so then what the fuck are you talking about?
You could be a moron.
What did I just read?
You could be a moron.
Came out July
Not the two of
3rd,
y'all.
1996. Anyway,
Okay.
that was the year of 96.
Okay.
How old was everybody? I was 9. Joe, how were you?
I was 8.
You were 8, Felly.
I don't know how I was 2, 3. I don't know.
Why are you
what
putting
did
them
you
on the
do?
spot,
7?
Don? Why are you putting them on the
I
spot?
was 7. I was 7, I think.
Felly was 7. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Good deal.
I don't remember what I was doing when I was 7.
I was in the snow.
You was in the snow?
That's all I remember about 1996.
Joe has
snow.
a vivid memory of everything he was doing, of every year.
My brother, I think. No, I'm lying. I don't know when my brother was born. Yeah, my brother was just born. Like, not just born, but just born. Ricardo just turned a year.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
Yeah.
96. Yeah,
That wasn't fun.
that was an interesting year. I remember it.
Don smoked his
Fondly.
first cigar.
In 96?
Yeah, he was 9.
No, not 96.
Said, I got to get it in now.
Let's
Damn.
get into this movie, The Watermelon Woman.
All right. So we'll go pretty much scene by scene, but this is pretty quick. It's not super crazy. Card opening on Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. The opening. What?
I have a lot of notes.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, then
I love that you wrote things down. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, every week.
Oh no, Joe, Felly, this is what he does. Every movie, it's
I love
typed
that.
out.
That's how I watch films.
I love it.
I don't know what to tell you.
I love it.
He's an insane
I love
person.
it.
I'm not an insane
giving
person.
It's giving critique.
It's not an
he-
insane
He
person.
does. He does his job.
The opening of a wedding, everyone's face, some comfortable and not comfortable. From what I saw, it was a mixed marriage. I think Jewish and black, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Talking about cash, how the dough's off. Tamara wants to take her partner out for dinner, needs the dough. Cheryl keeps talking about this film she's supposed to be making. Arguments and then shooting. It's urban realism in the car. By the way, the car shots of this film, are awesome. Because it's very hard, because clearly you're shooting on a cheaper camera because your budget is low. I was shocked how good the shadows were and how beautiful I don't know who's holding the camera. I don't think it's Cheryl, but the direction that Cheryl's giving and the way the camera is positioned in the car, beautiful, really, really, really different.
I like the first song of the soundtrack. That made me excited right off the rip.
This soundtrack is really good.
Yeah.
I really like the soundtrack a lot. They're paying me, and it's my interpretation of their wedding. I like that. I'm tired of you and your project, The Watermelon Woman. Who the hell is she? That's what Tamara says. And now a shot of a chair, and then Cheryl coming into the frame, talking about how she wants to be a filmmaker, which is interesting because she is a filmmaker. So the explanation of wanting to know more about black films and women from the 30s and 40s makes this fake film up called Plantation Memories and how black mammies were portrayed. Her name, Watermelon Woman, is that her first name, her last name, or her whole name? Then the title card actually pops up. And I don't know about you folks, but the the video store really brought back memories. The video store,
Yeah.
it makes you feel all warm inside. Like I really used to love going to a video store when I was a kid.
So human interaction.
Yes.
What would be your go-to movies to rent, Felly, when you went to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video as we became preteens?
I mean, I would rent things that I was just not supposed to be watching. So I
Same.
would be renting just like a whole bunch of like, older independent films that probably had a shit ton of nudity and a shit ton of just like extra just like scenes that I didn't need to be watching, but it was like the easiest way to get access to porn without it being porn as a kid, like Blockbuster movies. Like I remember one specific movie. It was called Pandora's Box.
Yes.
I vaguely remember that one.
Yes. I remember Pandora's
You remember that
Box.
one?
Yes, I do.
All right. So
Very
yeah,
porny.
that's what I was doing. Yeah.
You were a
Very
much
funny.
smarter kid than I was.
Huh?
You were a much smarter kid than I was.
Oh, yeah, I was out here.
I rented B-rated versions of Jurassic Park. I rented bootleg. Remember I told you, Joe, this movie called Dinosaur? Same concept. Scientist, big-ass egg, a dinosaur gets loose, and he kills everybody. That's it.
Well,
Nothing
has changed.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I still like bad movies.
Uh,
I still love bad movies.
So that was your go-to, Don? Like B-rated movies and Blockbuster?
I like science fiction a lot. Yeah, I didn't get into like independent films and words, and I was an adult. I didn't give a fuck about
Words.
I didn't give a fuck about where's the action.
Show me
I wanna
the
see
puppets.
explosions. I think I had an affinity for practical effects. Anything that had practical effects, I was pretty into.
he was excited about it.
Yeah, I like. And even to this day, it's still that's a warm and fuzzy place for me, is seeing actual practical effects that people had to work on that type of. And I think maybe that attributes to my love of masks and being that my craft now. Maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, drama and independent comedy and super weird movies. Anything I can get my hands on that was super weird, because my dad would always say, all right, you can pick out one video game and one movie. And
video games. Yeah.
Video game and a movie. And normally they didn't have any of the video games I really wanted, because, motherfuckers got there before I did. So
exactly.
So I would just say, can I get two movies? And we'd spend the weekend watching like Martin Scorsese or Coen Brothers or Melvin Van Peebles. My dad's a big Melvin Van Peebles guy. So anything we could get our hands on that was weird and like off the beaten path, we were always into. So, and black and white films, of course. Video store, Cheryl's late. Tamara letting her know she's late again, and Cheryl rebuffing with, "I'm a filmmaker. I'd rather be watching boring old films as opposed to black porn like you." And at first I didn't know that Jersey Girl was the name of one of the Watermelon Woman's films. And I was like, if you notice, Cheryl mentioned these films, and then on top is Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl. I thought it was Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl, which hadn't even come out yet. So I'm a moron.
Not even a thought.
I'm a moron. So there you go. Say we all make mistakes here, and we look at them.
It's okay.
You wait on a customer because I just clocked in, which is one of, like, when I work retail, that's one of my favorite lines to tell people. Remember that, Don?
Do I?
Remember that, Don? I just got here.
I worked with Joe in retail. He is the epitome of a terrible fucking worker. Just a fucking pain in the ass.
Don't say that too loud.
My issue with that is I'm usually the motherfucker that you're relieving, and so I've been here all day talking to these people. What do you mean you just got here?
I just got here.
You just got here. Go talk to them motherfuckers. I've been here. I don't want to talk to them no more.
But I'm also the person that showed up 20 minutes early because I liked all my coworkers, and we used to just talk shit. And I would also not be on the clock, and Don would say, "You want to ring this person up?" I'm not on the clock.
Yeah. It was a very haphazard situation.
It was.
We also drank on the job.
Yes.
We took a lot of cigarette breaks.
Yeah, we
cigarettes.
We drank
cigarettes.
Oh, a lot of cigarettes.
This movie really fucked me up with all the cigarette smoke, and I was like, ooh,
so much.
Ooh, sweet essence.
Then we go to some terrible karaoke.
Yep.
I
I
think
wrote down. Oh, look, Joe at karaoke.
that's not nice.
It looked like you.
It
It
did
looked
not
like
look
what
like
you would
me.
do. You
I
did,
wouldn't do.
you
I wouldn't sing. I
had
wouldn't
the
sing at
same
karaoke.
glasses. You wearing them
All right,
now.
the glasses I'll give you, but I wouldn't sing. I think it's time for me to sing my song. I'm a singer. Tell them I'm a singer.
I
Home-
put I
Home
miss
Girl's great.
smoking indoors. Felly, were you ever a cigarette person? Good. Very
Yeah, you don't
good.
wanna
Tastes
do
so
that.
nasty. I tried to smoke Black and Milds for like a second, and it
Oof.
was also a terrible mistake.
So for many years,
Um,
I smoked wine, Black and Milds.
Oh,
I
For many
always
years.
hated those the most.
I
It's
loved
wood
those were
tips
the
or
yeah.
vanilla. That's it. I'm not doing wine.
I
That's
loved
gross.
wine.
I had to be drunk to do wine, so I couldn't
And
taste
then you
it
remember
enough.
the clove cigarettes,
Cloves I
the black
like.
cigarettes.
Cloves I like.
Yeah.
That was
I
Don.
smoke that now. Yeah,
Don,
I
yeah,
smoke
Don.
that now.
Don smoked cloves.
I was looking for it in Paris. I didn't find it.
I'm glad.
I used to smoke
Because those are worse for you than like the fucking cigarettes. Like those have more.
We smoke
So I heard.
cigars.
Yeah, I smoke cigars. What does that mean? That means anything to me. I used to smoke one of the last vegetables
Yeah.
of smoking indoors was this pool hall that used to be down the block from my mom's house. You remember the pool hall on Avenue
The
N?
last one.
Yeah, that was like I remember that. I remember the year they stopped allowing smoking indoors. You know,
That's crazy.
There used to be this pool hall in Ridgewood that I used to go to, and they allowed smoking indoors till like 2016.
just some fucking narc snitch.
Yeah.
They said we do what we want to do. Okay?
Yeah.
Now it's a Starbucks. I wrote also for this thing. I said, generally speaking, I hate double dates. Has anybody ever? You guys,
Ugh.
they're like
No.
not great.
You have
Especially
to
when
like.
it's double
I
dates
can't
where
eat eggs.
everybody don't know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you have to like both people before you go on the double date. Like I've double dated with you and Nikki, with Linda and I like you both.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So it's not though the food was terrible. I like you both. And it's like you can't if you're meeting someone's significant other for the first time,
Yeah, that's
it's
rough.
gonna be bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. It just
You ever did a rough double date, Felly?
I don't do double dates.
smart.
That's not what I'm not interested. First of all, most times it's like, how are you gonna find a place where all people want to eat? That doesn't work.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
Number two, no, because
Yeah.
most times the spouse or the other person doesn't want to be there, so it's fucking awkward. You're trying to make somebody talk who doesn't even want to fucking be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm okay.
That's fair.
Nikki and I, going on 12 years this year, we have been tricked into our fair share of double dates. Where it's just like, we thought we would meet up with a friend. It's like, hey, and here's a stranger. Say hello, stranger. It's like, oh no. Oh, great.
Oh,
Yeah, we've done some double dating. Some of them went great. Some of them not so much.
Yeah,
But,
but you know when they're going to be bad right away. You can just
Yeah,
feel
off
it.
the rip.
Yeah,
But I always have a good time because I'm
You're an
mostly-
asshole.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. So,
right.
and if I really can't stand you, then I'm just gonna leave. I don't have to be here. I don't have to be here.
Yeah, so see, Don and I are assholes in different ways. Like I'll be a direct asshole to the person's face, and like
Okay.
really just make you hate me and the person you're with, so you'll leave them, and I'll never have to see you again. Like I know what I'm doing. If I don't like a person, I once told a
I
person.
know y'all can't fake it. Y'all
No, it's
horrible at
impossible.
faking it.
I once told a
Y'all
person
can't
that
fake shit.
I once told a person that she needed a nose job
Ooh.
on the first date.
That's
Joe.
a very Yakubian insult. We can't do that in our culture. That's just not a thing that even comes up.
Yakub. I didn't care. I hated this person so much off the rip. And I was just like, I want to ruin this for him too, to let him know how awful this other person is.
Oh,
And it worked.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the singing was terrible by
Terrible.
the double date person, really bad. Then we get some interviews on the street interviews about her asking people if they've heard of the.
And you can
Waterboy.
tell all those
Watermelon,
people are
Don't know
not
shit.
actors. It's great.
No.
Those were
I love
great.
it.
That's Rosie Perez. She wore the fruit cocktails on her head. That was so funny. I really liked that a lot. And then she's the one who originated the one on that syrup bottle. I
Oh,
like that.
Jemima.
That guy
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
wild.
basically.
That guy was wild. Cheryl calls her mother and films in the attic of her mom's pad. Now, I don't know. Did you all notice were the cameras two different cameras? Like,
Yeah. There's a camera third person of what of movie,
yeah,
and then there's filmmaker hand cam. So there's two different cameras.
no, and two different styles of camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
the handy cam. So my least favorite parts of this film were the handy cam parts. I didn't
When
really.
like when she's talking to her mom and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
They were
Yeah.
rough.
because it's. I understand doing it, and you don't have the like. I clearly didn't have the dough, and clearly didn't have the crew. I don't know. It's just something about that always makes me think of like family vacations on film. You know, like
Well, it's the she's
Well,
shooting a doc.
I know,
yeah.
no,
Not
I
every
know.
Yeah.
And
and
maybe
not everybody has the same experience to it. I think like, for example, like for me, like
Yeah.
home videos is like
a good thing.
I have 3 home videos like in totality of like family,
Mm.
like 3 of them. So it's like this thing that like Cheryl also has to become the filmmaker for the family in a particular type of way. So that's why
Mhm.
you have those like moments where it's like this person has to take the undertaking of documenting this, because if not, it doesn't happen, and then it's not seen as like specifically for Black folk. It's not, it's mom at the same time is like, get that camera out my face. Like,
Yeah.
it's like this weird, balance of trying to, yeah. Go ahead.
What I do like about her mother, and I like this with all filmmakers, when they interview their parents or they have their parents on film, it's always so natural. It always feels like you didn't tell your mom or your dad or your uncle, whoever you have on film, what to say. They just know intrinsically what to say.
Speaking of
Exactly.
which, ironically enough, Joe's father was in a film, an independent film with him recently,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe's father was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was absurd how good he was in this film.
Well, because that's
It
him.
really was.
That's just him.
I know
He didn't
Joe's
have to
dad.
act. He wasn't acting,
I know
right?
Joe's
It was
dad,
just
and I love Joe's dad a lot. He's just like Joe, like father like son.
Yeah.
But they're highly intelligent people who are so capable of high and lowbrow humor at the same time, just intermingled. It doesn't like it's hard to do.
it's beyond the personality type.
Yeah. Because anyway, but yeah,
Okay,
seeing
well,
that was pretty cool. Because even with some projects that I'm working on, I was like, damn, I should get my mom on camera for some stuff. That would be interesting.
I think if you're from New York, you owe it to your parents to
Yeah.
put them on camera, because, I mean, I always go back to Scorsese with this. His mother, just the one, maybe could be the best actress in all of his films. I mean, in Casino, she's so funny. She's so funny in Casino. Cheryl calls her mother, films in the attic. How do I look, Cheryl? You look good. And then she says, do I? Which is a great. Her mom doesn't think she looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's everybody's mom. I think that's really great.
Felly, I have a question. Oh. They walked off the show. See, yeah. Joe, I knew you would ruin this.
All I did was be me.
Don't be you. I told you to be anything but you.
You gotta be you. I think they're in the bathroom. That's just what it feels like to me. Because I wish I could be allowed to do that, because I would just go. I want to go.
Felly?
Yes. Sorry.
You went to go feed the turtle?
I went to go pee.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That makes sense.
I'm not home. I'm in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. The mom, right? she's being interviewed by Cheryl, and she's recalling that she might have had interaction with the Watermelon Woman in her younger years. I'm sorry. This film is 1996. This mother is recanting stories of her
30s.
hanging out in the 30s. How is that fucking possible?
It's
So
fiction.
how old is her mom?
It's a
Fiction.
fiction.
No.
It's-
Fiction, yes, but there's math though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but not everyone does the math in magical
Like,
fiction.
I get black don't crack, but come on, son. What are we talking about? This lady is how old? She was in the club. Even if you want to say she was in
She
the
was
30s, she was, let's call her
15.
15, right?
Let's
In
say
the
she was
30s.
15.
Say she was 15. Now we're talking about 60 years later. This is a 75-year-old woman we're talking to right now.
She would be.
Yeah,
76-year-old
why
woman.
not?
No, she would
You ain't
be.
seen my father?
She'd be
That's an
81.
anomaly. He looked great, and that's crazy.
She'd be 80. She would.
Huh?
She would be 81.
In 96, right?
Yeah, she'd be 81.
I mean, she's pushing it. She don't look
No,
81.
she wouldn't be 81.
Well, yeah,
You're talking
19,
about-
19. If you're talking about 1930, you said she's
She
15.
was 15.
81 plus 15 is 96.
What?
You all right?
No.
No.
Jackass.
What
30.
was
You're
that?
adding to the number 30.
If she
You're
was
adding
if she was
60
born
years. 66.
40, 50, 60, 70,
You add
80, 90.
66.
That's 60 years. That's 66 years plus 15.
What
it's
the hell
81.
are you talking about?
That's
No.
81. 66 plus 15 is 81, everybody.
Okay, so it's 81.
I
No,
There you
gamble.
it's
go.
not.
Yes, it
I
I
is.
don't.
I
Oh, shit,
gamble,
it is.
and 66 plus 15 is 81, Don.
Why am I following you, Don? It's you, the
Yeah, I
last
don't do
person I
math.
should
That
be
was a
following about
mistake. Yeah,
math.
math is not my forte. It's not. It's
This
so far from
locomotive's
my
going
forte.
4 miles an hour.
I'm telling you, what is algebra?
It's going
Or
400
when will it get?
Get off that train.
When will it get to New York?
We're
Get
all
off the
dead.
fucking train.
We're all dead. That's funny.
Anyway, yeah, this is an 80-something-year-old woman, and this same note comes up later with another interview that we'll get into.
Yeah.
That I was like, again, this is yes, black doesn't crack, indeed, but come on, son, come on. But look, we work
Black
with what
don't
we work
crack.
with, and the budget was low, and she made it happen. You know what I'm saying?
She made it
Yeah.
happen. And honestly, it was mostly just about an exchange between her mother and herself on camera.
Correct.
Right. And
Whether if that was her mom.
she
But I think even still, you could have just said that this is a fictional story. You could have said that same story that recanted
All
her youth. You could have said, I seen the lady in the 50s when I was a kid, and she was like older and singing. In the
All right,
club,
but
too.
it gets complicated. And you know what's crazy? So like there's an artist that helped, there's a photographer that helped Cheryl create all the imagery for the
Mhm.
movie. Her name is Zoe Leonard. And so Zoe Leonard had a retrospective at the Whitney in like 2018, I think, or some shit like that. And I went and saw it. So I got to see the original like photographs that they used for the movie. And then, I had a lover. I don't want to get into it, but they had one of the original books also of Cheryl and Zoe's like work, like
Mhm.
which is the Faye Richardson Archive, which you learn later that that's her name is not the Watermelon Woman, her name is Faye Richardson.
Mhm.
So all in all, what I'm trying to say is when you get into this like world building, because that's what Cheryl's doing, Cheryl's building a world. Sometimes the dates get a little fuzzy, and so things you gotta kind of roll with it a little
Yeah.
bit. Maybe mom was like, maybe mom was not 19, 15. Maybe mom was like 7. Because, back in the day, these kids was out and about, roaming around the streets. You
mean,
could have been
It's
6 years
possible.
old already performing and making money for the family. My nigga, like, shit was different. Like,
Philly is a different place to this day. Philly is
Okay.
different.
all right.
super different.
So, and we talking about Philly in the, 30s,
Yeah.
20s, 30s, And as a person who also like world builds and make my own thing, because a lot of my project for the Old Dandy series was based off of this movie, off of the Watermelon
Which
Woman.
made
Like, I
me
got
get a
hella
very,
inspired.
I got a very warm and fuzzy feeling once I put those two together. I was like, oh, I see what
It makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. That made me feel really nice.
Because I saw the archive in person, and so
Yeah.
to see something and be like, oh wow, like I could also do this for my own work and make this whole world and have folks really be interested without using the moving image, just using still image. And so,
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
the stills for this film were unfucking believable. Like they were so beautifully done, shot. Because it had me wondering, like, were they rendered? Were they just done for the
Yeah.
film? And it's so beautiful, like
Yeah.
really, really, really deep photography. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
All right, time to get into some white devilry.
I can't with you.
Well, I was just gonna before the white devilry. Hold on.
Here comes the antagonist, the white woman.
The hold on. The mother says a really funny line here. She goes, "There was Hattie, Shirley, and May, just the regular old gang." And then it's like her mother, like what Felly said, trying to piece this world together that Cheryl clearly. I mean, of course, Cheryl directed her mother a little bit and said, "Look, this is what you have to sort of hit on, but make it your own thing." And then she goes, "Oh yeah, the gold gang," and that made me laugh really hard. And it's her mother. It's a mother trying to figure out who this fake woman actually is.
Actually is.
Yeah. And then I hate Sissy Spacek. She's thin and pale and weird in this movie. I hate Sissy Spacek. I can't stand Sissy Spacek. So I like that. I enjoyed that very much.
Who's that?
She was in Carrie. She's Carrie. In Carrie.
Wait,
Which one is
the
that
girl
in this
that
film,
she plays the girlfriend?
No.
The
Yeah, Sissy Spacek, but they're talking about Sissy Spacek.
Oh, they're talking about yes.
Oh, as
an
connection to the real world.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I can't stand Sissy Spacek.
Yeah.
Now,
what's her name?
Diana.
Diana comes into this
which
movie right
Diana's.
place.
I honestly, that scene was not necessary.
No,
and I think I know what scene you think I'm talking. What I'm talking about.
Oh, the Pandora's box scene.
Yes, but the jungle fever scene.
I also wrote that was the most realistic sex scene I've ever seen in a film.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay, no. Yeah, she definitely. She had the intimacy coordinator there, and the intimacy coordinator was working through. Yes, absolutely. But I also feel like that's something that happens more with independent films anyway.
Yeah, but this still felt way more real than a lot of things that I've seen.
I was enthralled because
I've watched a lot of early independent 90s lesbian, weird, queer shit, and it was. Think about Real Sex on HBO.
Yeah,
when it first came out.
Yeah, I got Real Sex.
They was real sex.
Sex.
Did you
and then the censor laws came in.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on the videos that she was choosing Diana when she first got to the video shop? Do you remember? Did you write it down? Which 3 videos she was torn between?
I
forgot. Yeah, I didn't.
Jason's Lyric, Cleopatra Jones.
Oh my God.
Cleopatra Jones, right?
And Impersonal Best. What's Impersonal Best?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. The first 2 I know, but the last one I was like, I don't know this. I was like, it has to be a black film, right? Because that's clearly what she was doing.
It's not real. It's not real.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Impersonal Best.
That's what it sounded like. She said
maybe in person. Let me see. Yeah. I never heard it because I was in person.
So then, she's making some movie suggestions. She's trying to get Cheryl to pick a movie for her, and that's when the Carrie line comes up, right? And then she makes some comment about how skinny she was, right? And then she goes, "Yeah, I like my girls thick," and I was like, "Cool."
So
then we get Bob.
Yeah, Bob was great. I love the Bob
system.
The Bob system, yeah. Bob reminded me so much of Dave. Did he not remind you of Dave? If Dave was Bob?
No,
but you can see what I'm talking about.
Dave was our manager at Gorham Brothers.
Yeah. The boss tells
not Dave and Bob.
Yeah. New coworker, Anne, I think her name was.
Something to that effect.
Neither plussed at all. The boss tells Tamara to see him in the office for giving the new girl attitude. The way Bob says things when they're not funny, they're creepy. Super
Yeah.
fucking creepy.
Very much so.
It almost had the, like, I know a lot of these people aren't professional actors or are student actors or whatever. It almost had the Hallmark Z grade of like how you say lines, but some of them really worked. And then there's a
We
line.
also had a thing where when Diana gets her information as a computer, where we get the classic 555.
2312.
I was like, oh, cool. We haven't heard that in a while.
And that the line, that's how you take a customer's order. You mean that's how a customer picks up an employee? If it's that easy, I need to get a name tag, Cheryl. I like that set of lines. That was good.
That actress was pretty cool. I liked her energy.
Which one?
The new hire person.
And, yeah, she was cool.
Yeah. She kind of better than the other homegirl, to be honest with you. I didn't think she was that
Tamara?
great. Yeah, she
Tamara?
She stumbled on lines. I mean, everybody kind of did stumble on lines here and there.
But
she did it more often.
You know what I liked? I liked the stumbling on lines and keeping it in, because that makes it feel like an actual documentary. That makes it feel like we're actually doing something. So I didn't deduct anything from that. That felt very, very real for me.
But those,
I know that was supposed to be in the film. That was supposed to be in the film.
When it's the film parts, they were stumbling on lines, which is a little rough.
Now there's a dancing interlude, but with Cheryl and Tamara. I have to assume that's to make fun of shows of the 90s and that whole vibe. Did you like the dancing?
Like the living single stardom.
Yeah. Did you feel that? That's the way I felt about that.
Yeah, that came off a little satirical. Yeah.
All these historical posters of African American films when they go visit. What was his name? Bill.
I forgot homie's name.
I forgot homie's name too.
We had a film called Gone Harlem starring Ethel Moses.
Yeah.
Another film, Julie Jones, The Bulldogger. That's what I got.
The Bulldagger?
He was the first black cowboy.
Right.
Bill Pickett.
Yeah.
All these historical posters, and then these great lines. Hell no, girl. South Street sucks now. And
South Street still sucks.
It does. It's awful.
That's what I have in my notes.
Yeah.
South Street does suck. Still.
You're a critic.
To this day.
Nothing has changed.
Women are not my specialty. And then
I was on South Street when the Phillies won the World Series.
That must have sucked for you.
It wasn't great.
No. Women are not my specialty. And then Tamara just says, of course they aren't. Look at you. And then he says, what was that, Tamara? Like, what? Tamara's got some lines that are just like mean. It's just.
I mean, because that's the character. It's also slightly going off of that trope of, like, the bigger black, woman who's angry a little bit.
Yes, but I didn't get angry
so much as like,
very
angry.
It got like socially inept. Yeah. Socially inept. Like, one, you're at work. Why are you talking like this?
Apart.
Two, you're at somebody's house. Why are you talking like this? And then the wedding one. Why are you talking like this? Yeah, you can't bring.
It's the friend you don't invite. That you don't invite. You don't invite. Leave her home. Yeah.
And then the Royal was the place to be in the 20s and 30s, and the urban decay is a large theme in this film. How we are forgetting culture in lieu of whitewashing and gentrification of cities is a major theme. At least with the B-roll that Cheryl's using. Cheryl mouthing the watermelon woman's line and then blowing her nose in the cloth is a fuck you to the stereotype. I like that very much. Cheryl goes to say hi to Diana at the fruit stand, but Diana's partner, very evil eyes, very like sized her up, like up and down, sized her up. The trap and the library scene, I wrote.
Going back a little bit, just going back when we were still in the house, right? We learned a couple new things. There was some new things that came to light.
Go ahead.
Through the archival dopeness that was going on there. We learned that Negro films were played before the big mainstream Hollywood films in those theaters, right? And that's how those films that we named earlier got seen, because they weren't big ticket sellers, but that's how people would be able to view them. We also learned that Faye Richards used to sing at they were mixed clubs, but at lesbian clubs, basically. There was like lesbian parties, lesbian clubs, speakeasies in the 1930s.
They called them all Faye clubs, right?
Right. Yeah, we learned that these were mixed crowd places. It wasn't like
Very
necessarily,
interracial.
yeah, very
Very
interracial.
queer. Very fluid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I wrote, in the next scene in the library, the tracking and dolly shots are especially good in the library sequence. Even positioning and shadow play a very serious part here. And for a first film, there is a lot of like expertise in the dolly. The way Cheryl uses the dolly is really, really great. And then this fucking librarian guy, that guy pissed me off. Yeah, it pissed me off. Check the black section in the reference library.
Yep. Absolutely. With those glasses.
Oh, that guy. And blowing his nose into the hanky.
I don't like hanky people. I've never.
Hanky people are weird.
Oh, never. My grandfather was a hanky. He's a hanky guy. I love my grandpa.
My dad is a hanky
And I'm
guy.
like, it's a generational thing, man.
I think I would probably become a hanky person when I'm older.
Like I put
When I don't want nobody to fuck around me anyway, then sure. But otherwise, it's weird.
Yeah,
for me
it's a good
at my age now.
Well, it's because you need to learn the science of the hanky.
There's a science?
Yeah.
Go on.
All right. I'm waiting.
Y'all don't know about the hanky code?
The hanky code.
Yeah, look it up. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Look it up.
This feels like I'm looking up nothing. Hold on.
I'll look it
Okay.
up. I'll look it up. Hanky code.
Hold on. I want to know. We're both on our phones. The hanky code. Ooh, I'm still not.
Riveting stuff,
This
guys.
is everybody wants to watch this.
Nothing came up?
The hanky code. What's
The
it?
hanky code.
Oh, okay. The hanky code was a covert sartorial code used predominantly by queer men in the 70s and into the 80s. Simply put, a bandana is worn in one's back pocket for the purpose of sexual signaling.
Oh, that I remember vaguely. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I thought
See,
there
yeah,
was
the
just an
hanky
etiquette
code.
to blowing your nose. I thought that's where we were going.
No,
Okay.
because the hanky comes in many different shapes and sizes, number one.
Got it.
You talking about old man hanky, the ones that are like translucent, where like they basically blown into it and everything's flying everywhere?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that, because not all grandpas come out like that.
Okay.
Right. I was thinking about like a pocket square. Is a pocket square a hanky?
No, it shouldn't be. It should be a
No,
pocket
I
square.
know, but some people do use their
Some
pocket
people
square.
do use it as a hanky.
Disgusting.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Oh, no. So was this librarian, are we to believe that that's what we were getting there? Some sort of little sublime there or no?
No, I think he was just a
He's just blowing
dickhead.
his nose.
No, he was just an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think he's just a dickhead. The only thing coming up is Martha Page. Check the reserve desk on the second floor. And then if you notice, when Cheryl and Tamara leave, the huff this man lets out when the next person walks up. Did you guys catch that? Did you all catch that?
Wait, what?
The huff.
He had an attitude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you all catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dick.
I don't.
He's
an asshole.
He was a big asshole.
It's giving also like, I don't know if I could say this, but like, it feels very like queer Spike Lee moment. Like, I don't know who did what first, but like, you know how sometimes Spike Lee does those like weird, like
interaction
really
stuff.
like, yeah, or like that really like weird, like, let me make the person, let me have an angle of a person where I can make them look like even more of an asshole and blow things up and get those close in shots, but then like back up, like, I don't know who, it's not to say like it's a Spike Lee style. I feel like I'm just saying Spike Lee because he does it so fucking often. Like, I feel like the motherfucker's trying to trademark it as his own, but like,
we were talking about that with Do the Right Thing, where remember John Savage is the guy in the Boston Celtics shirt, and he's like, I was born in Brooklyn. Oh man, that moment. And yeah, that does happen quite a bit in Spike Lee films, like quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
You're right. He almost feels like he's trying to trademark that. That's interesting. I never thought about that. I'm going to go watch every Spike Lee movie and see where that happens.
Literally every Spike Lee movie, you could probably count it like 3 times.
Because I definitely remember it in Jungle Fever. I can't place it.
I remember in Jungle Fever. I remember it in Crooklyn. I remember it in Do the Right Thing. I remember it in what's that movie with the school and the
School Days.
fraternities?
School Days.
School Days. That's already 4. Like, what the fuck?
Huh. I'm gonna go back and watch all those now, just to see. Very good little montage here of Cheryl holding all these pictures of famous African American actresses from throughout time, and now interviewing Miss Shirley could be the best actress in this whole thing.
And that's the first time I wrote it, but the second time I thought, I know black don't crack, but seriously, come on, how old is this lady supposed to be? What are you talking about?
It felt like
She's
she was
in
supposed to be.
26.
Yeah, it felt like she was supposed to be like 90. It was. It was.
This
So
lady is like 58 tops.
I wrote.
Black don't crack.
Right. I also wrote how old
She was really good
is
though,
Miss-
very
she was
realistic.
great.
Yeah.
And then the lines, "Watermelon Woman." I don't know where you got that mess from. Probably when she was making those movies, and it felt super real.
Mhm.
And then Miss Shirley has another great set of lines here. If I remember my gossip correctly, Martha Page is one mean and ugly woman. Guess that's how you have to be in that business.
Yep.
And then the photos,
Out here throwing all the shade.
yeah. And now we're seeing certain things happen in real
Yeah.
life.
We had one of the photos of Faye in a suit and a top hat. in
Yeah.
One of the pictures.
Which is crazy because I wish I was home. I could have pulled out the book and showed you. I literally have those images.
Yeah.
I'm into dating women with mental health right now. This is a funny line. Bald black ball busters. Isn't that funny, Tamara? Most of the tapes you ordered hadn't come in. They didn't have this title, as both Cheryl and Tamara are behind the boss, letting her know to please not fuck this up. And she doesn't. She plays it cool for them. And then there's a line. It's some woman who says she's your girlfriend when Anne comes out to Bob after Bob is trying to pick up Diana. It's a very little complex scene of horniness here. Just a complex horny scene. If you want to see the videos, then you need to come to my place because they have my tapes. Look, I don't like her, but that's a great pickup line.
Yeah, she
It
backed
is.
it
I
up.
don't like her.
Yeah,
That's a great
backed it
pickup
up.
line.
She did it.
And then Diana wants to know about the film, and then Cheryl says it's what I want to do with my life, you know. Diana says that it's what I want to do with my life, you know, because Diana's like the confused like bohemian who doesn't really belong anywhere, and she's gentrifying every place she goes.
With her red nail polish.
And also, I mean, maybe it's the Quentin Tarantino feet thing with me. Her feet are gross.
Yeah.
Her feet are gross.
They
were gross.
It's giving callus and dirt.
Like,
oh my god,
they were like Kensington feet. You know, Don.
You know,
Kensington
and they were doing
feet, Don.
I don't like it.
The regular, fucking thing of like the cigarette right after the fucking thing, and like I was just like, oh, I was just
Well,
over it by
I
a
also
certain point.
I did like that the cigarette was like the first cigarette was like the way to get to sex.
Put her hand
Yeah.
in her pocket
And
and all
then-
that shit.
And then she says, "Do you have fire?" Which I like that line. And
Yeah.
then Cheryl says, "It's loose" or something like that. It's like it's not a lighter. And then she reaches further in her pocket. I really dug that. That was really good
I put,
innuendo.
what brand is the cigs? I couldn't recognize that box. I couldn't recognize the box.
No
of cigarettes.
brand.
You know,
It had to be maybe Parliaments, maybe because
So
it
my-
was blue and white,
so my dad smokes Parliaments, and I don't think those were Parliaments.
even from '96.
I don't
they're
think
not
those-
Salem's. I was thinking maybe Salem's, old
They
Salem.
look also like imported.
Right. They also didn't look American. The packaging
They
was
didn't
strange.
look
Very
American
big.
at all.
They look like
Yeah.
fat.
It's a
Yeah.
strange thing because, but I know we're all smokers. We're all New Yorkers. We've seen all types of packaging, and I like packaging. I
do
went to graphic communication arts, and I learned about
Very
packaging
important.
back there.
Yep.
So I like those type of. Oh, you know what? They have a really nice exhibit.
Where?
I went to the Met on
They
Saturday.
have a really nice book. I'm gonna find you the name of the book where it's Japanese, just like Japanese advertisements. Yeah.
They have a nice exhibit because I went to go see the Harlem Renaissance exhibit with Nikki. But they had another exhibit there that has product advertisements. It's a whole exhibit of product advertisements.
Is that on the top floor?
What floor? It was up the stairs.
Okay,
Yeah, it was up the stairs. It was nice. It was cool.
I want to check that out.
So yeah, and then I wrote, I miss cigarettes.
Great.
I just wish it didn't hurt me.
I can't with you.
And now they're drinking. Diana lets her know that she's attracted to Cheryl.
Yeah.
Another great Mac line by Diana. Now that we know we're attracted to each other, what should we do? What a great line.
Fall into each other's
Very,
panties.
very
And
forward.
and then I wrote, well, this is probably the most realistic sex scene I've ever seen on film.
Listen, I wrote before the sex scene. I wrote, "Wow, straight into tongue action, huh?" It was like a kiss with the lips, and then the next move was a straight lick. It wasn't a try it out lick. It wasn't a.
Can I say? They're lesbians in the 90s, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Lesbianism in the 90s, they was doing wild shit.
I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't a lesbian in the 90s, so I don't
know. But those are like my distant cousins. Like they was doing wild shit.
It was really
automatic.
Yeah, and I wrote, I also love whatever song this is. What song was that?
I don't know, but I do remember. I like the whole.
Did you Shazam it? Yeah, the soundtrack is lit.
I tried Shazamming one of the ending songs, and it was a no go.
I try. And this is no offense to anybody that Shazams. I really just try to remember if I can, and I couldn't, so I'll Shazam. I'm still in shock over having sex with Diana. That line didn't make a lot of sense to me because why is she in shock?
Well, she's not her type.
She doesn't fuck white girls.
Well, I thought it was because she said that she doesn't fuck on like the second date or the first date.
No,
I don't think that was it. I think it's just white girls. It's not her type.
All right. Where was it?
It's literally the antithesis of her whole research. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that, but also it's intertwined because it's kind of parallel to Faye Richardson, because we find out that Faye was in a relationship with the director,
white woman.
Yeah, white woman. Yeah.
And then after the sex, if you notice,
it's literally they're the same thing.
Yeah.
She's like replicating history.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice after the sex, Diana puts the fire back in Cheryl's pocket. Did you notice that? That was a great little moment.
Mm-mm.
The lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great little moment.
I think, and not to harp too long on the sex scene, but I thought it was shot beautifully. Like, just like just body structure wise, the contouring of the bodies.
It was almost like a dance sequence.
Yeah. It was just shot very well. It was framed very well, lit very well.
It was like,
yeah, it was art. Like, it was very artsy.
It was like, it was like Twyla Tharp. It like reminded me of like these gyrations and these gesticulations of like, it wasn't just sex. No. It was passion. It was, it was. These faux newsreels are really great. And they're as good as faux newsreels I've seen in any films.
One thing that bothered me, and tends to bother me in a lot of different films, when you're doing contemporary actors that are playing period pieces, is when the outfits and its tailoring is incorrect. Because the guy's shirt in that thing, the collar was droopy, and that would not happen in the 1930s or 40s. That's just not a thing.
That's a Hugh thing.
It's a nitpick, but it's a me.
That's a Hugh thing, yeah. Then this wild film critic character.
I put the white professor lady is on coke. He is on cocaine.
Who is this woman? And I was so like taken aback by everything she was saying, because she was sort of just sensationalizing every sentence, and then saying the watermelon has the colors of the Italian flag. I was like, what?
The watermelon has the colors of the Italian flag, which makes me very biased, by the way.
That was reaching, bro. Reaching.
It was a lot. That one was a little bit much.
Yeah, it felt a little heavy-handed, but I was also
that could have used a second or third take, perhaps.
Yeah, it just felt like she let her go, like just moving around. Yeah. And then there's this great shot of her talking to more people in the street about the Watermelon Woman, and the idea that
Oh, that's my favorite part. Yeah.
if she
That's
is
one of my favorite
if
parts.
she isn't in anything after 1960, don't ask us. We haven't covered women in blaxploitation. Which, let me tell you something. If you've ever taken a film class, that is a damn honest answer.
They're not lying.
That is a damn honest answer. But it also shows the lack of knowledge and care to want to learn.
Mhm.
Because you can,
Yeah.
like, look, I took film classes, but I went outside the curriculum and learned on my own.
Well, that's because you are interested and actually like the things. Most people are not, they don't do that.
That's a shame.
That's asking for too much.
That's a shame.
Mhm.
Guess it's time for Plan J, because now they're at this dinner at home to break
Another
the tension.
double date.
Yeah, another double date, right? Double date's bad.
Now a more intimate double date, which is worse.
And then Diana grabs the J and it's like, "Oh, thank God, let me have a hit." And she just exacerbates
that
the
was
tension.
so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah, she made it so much worse. Why would
It
you
was so
think you
weird.
could smoke first off of the J that I brought
Off
into
of
the
the
room?
J that I rolled, girl.
Why would you think
didn't
that's
put it on
okay?
this?
There's a
Like, it was gonna come to you, fam. It was gonna come to you. All you had to do was wait.
there's a rule. There's a
They don't know what
Cipher?
the rule is.
we're here. Puff puff pass.
They
Pass
don't
it
know
to your
what that
left.
means.
It was, and it was the subtle things about it. Look, she took the J straight out of her hand without asking. Number one. Number two, she sparks it up, starts puffing, and she goes from this hand that's with the two women, and she switches it to the other hand.
To the other hand.
You know what I'm saying?
To
like,
get it
this
away
is-
from
this is-
everybody.
this
It's
is
like,
mine
I'm
now.
holding this from mine. Yeah,
That shit
exactly.
was nuts. I was like, nah, that can't work. That can't work.
And then she has a line where she mentions that she knows the member of the Page family. 6 degrees of separation, but here it's only 2. I like that. Cheryl shoots a dirty look after Diana has found the Page family, and then she says it could be great for us. And Tamara says, "Us? I thought this was Cheryl's project." So this is Tamara protecting Cheryl,
Absolutely.
Yeah, in a very,
aggressive way,
abrasive way that
Yeah.
she's an abrasive person. But yes.
but she means it in the best possible way.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I picked up on the notion, like, I think anybody would be like, whoa, where's this bitch coming from with this we thing now? But it's not till you just said that I picked up, like, oh, she was actually being a friend and being protective of a friend. And this is probably the first time in the film that she has been portrayed as a not selfish person. You know what I'm saying? Because through the whole film, she's been kind of like the selfish, self-centered.
It's like, bitch, why do you want to do that? Like, why are you doing that? Like,
Yeah, she's kind of an asshole. And now, she was kind of putting off Cheryl about doing this project and how stupid and downplaying it. Now she's like, whoa, that's yours.
And now
I think it's dumb, but it's your dumb thing.
Yep.
And now,
That part.
you know what the most difficult thing is about this project? It's Tamara. Something is different and something has changed. Well, yeah.
But before we get there, I wrote, how can you whisper at that small table?
Yeah, you can whisper.
Split like this. Y'all are 6 inches away from each other.
No
Can you
whispering.
believe this white bitch?
Yeah.
Like, I'm right here, I heard you.
No, she said something about White Devil.
Yeah, she called her a white devil.
Yeah.
I was like, she's right there.
Yeah, I was just
That's
like,
not discreet.
You don't care.
yeah. And then
That's that true, like, Queen Latifah, like, black woman, like type shit. I don't give a fuck, bitch.
Yeah.
And then now they're at Sister Sound, and Tamara looking at the women in the audience instead of the performances themselves. Tamara yells at Annie for doing the exact same thing a second later.
Yeah.
And Cheryl confronts Tamara about yelling at Annie, and Tamara confides that Stacy and her are not having sex, and that's why Tamara is a little on edge. But
Mhm.
it's clearly not that,
I also wrote here friendship turmoil, yes, but I also wrote 40s. I miss 40s. They were sharing a 40.
I know.
And
I can't with you.
And I wanted
don't.
to see what label it was, and I think they had either ripped it
they
off.
took it out. Yeah, they took it out.
Yeah,
Always. You can't do
So-
that. You can't keep it on.
Also, they cut a scene at the end of this. Another character walks into frame at the end of this scene where they're having a discussion.
this was my least favorite part of the whole film.
And it just cuts off. It's like, well, hey, cut off. like,
Yeah.
like, who the fuck was that person?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on here?
I wrote that was Tamara confides And I wrote, I did not love that cutaway of when Diana walks up. It was
Was that? See, I didn't know who that
it
was. I
was.
couldn't put my
It
finger. It
was.
was Diana.
And
Okay.
it was almost like an after school special cutaway. Like somebody's about to smoke a joint, you know?
Yeah,
it,
like we can't get in
it
trouble.
felt super weird. So that was a moment I was like, Annie doing some research for a project, and then Bob, time does fly and people do change. At CLIT now, the Center for Lesbian Information and Technology, and
Which made me giggle.
it
Do
made
you
me
know
laugh.
why?
Do
you remember why? Can you take a guess as to why it made me giggle?
Because you don't know where the CLIT is.
Wow.
No, but that made me giggle also.
Good.
No, because in one of the future episodes of a show that Joe and I were writing, I had the acronym CUNT.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
For the artist.
Cancel unsolicited nude text senders.
Yes.
CUNT.
That's crazy.
I like that.
Well, the crazy thing is that there was actually a place called the Click Club. So
That sounds dope.
yeah.
If we have any photographs that
Hard to get a ticket at the Click Club.
I have a joke. If we have any photographs that white people are in, we just cross them out. I found that funny.
Yeah.
She was a lot too.
That lady
was a lot.
She dumped that.
I just said homegirl just dumped the files on the table.
She's like, these are very precious and rare photos. Here you go.
And then she says,
"Fuck your photos."
And then she says some crazy shit. They'd race uptown for a plate of Yardbirds and strings and a glass of 100 proof iced tea.
Okay, time out. I wrote that down too. I think that is a black thing that I did not know about: fried chicken and spaghetti. Do you know this place called?
Yeah, that is
JoJo Bees.
That's very Midwest.
Jolly Bees.
Jolly Bees.
They just opened one up down the block from me, and the menu is chicken and spaghetti.
Well,
and I'm like, what
my
the
dude,
fuck
if you go to the Midwest, that's what you're getting. You're getting like literally in the Midwest. They even take it a step further. They do fish and spaghetti. They do fish.
That makes more sense to me.
They fry catfish. No, my nigga, wait. They fry catfish. They make spaghetti. They take 2 loaves of bread. They put the catfish
spaghetti on the sandwich
in the bread, and they eat it like that. That's how they eat it.
So Jolly Bees is a Filipino. Fast food place. It's been around forever, and there are 3 in Queens. And I will say this right now, in terms of fast food fried chicken, I would put it up there. In terms of fast food fried chicken,
no, people go crazy over Jolly Bee. Like,
really
crazy. Okay.
I have an unpopular opinion about fast food fried chicken. Church's Chicken is the best fast food fried chicken.
I don't think I've had Church's yet.
I live right next to Church's, and I can't tell you. I could tell you. I don't
back
know.
in the day, because there used to be a White Castle Church's Chicken in Williamsburg back in the day, and I always found Church's Chicken to be really, really good. Because KFC blows. I don't care what anybody tells me. KFC's gross. Popeyes is fine, but it depends on who is serving you the chicken, what time you go in there. It all depends on time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always found that Church's and Jollibee were 1 and 2.
When we went to New Orleans last, Felly, we were by Church's also, but we didn't go though.
Yeah,
we were down the block from one.
I literally live down the block from Church's.
Yeah.
I live in the same area that y'all stayed at. You know that, right?
Now.
Yeah, now I live in the same area. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like that area. It was really nice to walk around. It's beautiful.
It's the hood, but it's also not the hood.
It's the gentrified. It's Bed-Stuy. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, not on the other side. Not where I'm at.
Oh, where you're
I'm at where it's more the hood.
When we went to New Orleans, we stood in St. Anthony's Ward. Does that sound like a place? St. Anthony's Ward?
No.
Felly is a quintessential New Yorker where they'll move someplace, but I'm not learning this place. I know where I'm at. I know how to get to where I'm at. I know how to get to where I'm going.
I live in the 7th Ward, and before that I lived in the Fontainebleau neighborhood, and then before that I lived in Bayou St. John. So I don't know about the St. Anthony Ward, but I know about Bayou St. John. What parish is that?
Hold on, I'll look. 7th Ward.
Oh, that's where I live.
Yeah, 7th Ward. It was not too far from. I'm going to butcher this. Almonaster Avenue. You know?
Almonaster.
Yeah.
That one sounds different.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably saying it wrong. I wasn't
Okay,
too far from St. Claude.
Okay, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
St. Claude Avenue.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I wasn't
Yeah,
too
I
far
know
from
exactly
over
where
there.
you're at.
And I liked it. I mean, it still felt like the hood. It still felt like
Oh yeah, it's a mix.
yeah. And I'm always one of those people that when you go somewhere, you should stay in the hood and you should eat in the hood. Like when I go to DC, I like to stay off 17th and Bennington. I like to be away from everything.
Right smack. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to be smack dab in the shit that I understand.
Yeah. And I like to eat in delicious food spots. What?
That's
That part.
something I usually. Yes, I could do that in the Americas. When I went to Paris, I did not go to the
Don
hood,
was scared.
'cause I don't want to be in the hood where I don't understand the
Don.
language of "give me your money." Give me your money.
Oui, oui.
Give it to me.
Oui, oui. Help me.
It's stupid. Give me your money.
I can't with y'all.
They'd race and then
They go to the sister of the director's house.
yes, you do not have permission. Oh no, you do not have permission to photograph this. This is a safe space.
Oh yeah, the crazy.
But
lady,
it's
so, yeah.
but it's photographs. She's photographing photographs.
But she said
Yeah,
it's a safe
exactly.
space and it's
But it's like
it's
archives.
archives, privately owned.
It's private.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't just be photographing things without giving people money because that's really what it amounts to.
And Felly happens to be an archivist.
Oh,
everybody.
very
Yeah,
Felly is
I
a-
work in archives, so I
Work
can
in
tell you all
archives.
about licensing and all
I
that other
have
stuff.
cool friends,
Yeah.
Joe.
well, you should.
You're not one of them.
Well, I mean, also you should have just had it rub off on you because you're a bum. Meeting.
Wow, that's strong.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, it is strong.
Fair assessment.
I'm the Tamara to his Cheryl.
At least I'm Cheryl.
Sometimes meeting Martha Page's sister, who vehemently denies that Martha was
Yep.
Faye was a lesbian. Martha has a black maid, by the way. If you didn't
Yeah.
see that, enforcing a deep stereotype.
No. The old lady denies that the director was a lesbian and that the director, I forget the lady's name, the white lady, because that's the sister of the director whose house they went to. She was denying that her sister was a lesbian and that her sister
I
had a
messed that up.
relationship with Faye.
Okay.
Right.
Martha has a black
And
maid.
Cheryl was like, "Yeah, but it's documented."
But I
It's
have
like,
all
facts.
everything, girl.
I have
Like, I
everything.
didn't make it up. This is something that's like in books.
I have
People
everything.
printed it. Look at this picture.
And
They're
then,
doing lesbian
Here.
stuff right there. Look.
and then the scene after, it's confirmed that Diana just has a thing for black guys and girls. And then Cheryl's like, "What did your parents say?" And then Diana says, "Nothing. They're liberal hippie types."
Yeah,
Oof.
Diana says that she dated 3 black men before in her past.
Yeah. And then Diana says something that's really crazy. This project is really becoming a crutch. It's like, who the fuck are you to say something like that? You've been here for like 6 days. Then I wrote the in the car shots are awesome, just beautifully nuanced. And then okay, I didn't like these two cops because it didn't feel like
Weird.
cops.
Like, well, you can just yell crackhead at people. Hey, look at this crackhead. Hey, crackhead, what are you doing? It's like, whoa.
It felt like how the beginning of an episode of Real Sex would start.
Word.
It just felt like,
Random as fuck.
yeah. Crackhead stole the property, and then a cutaway. I use smoked turkey wings, not pork. Why do you ask? She's on the phone. And then Miss June had an apparent heart attack, and the neighbor answers. Neighbor gets the wings, and Cheryl gets a letter and some more information.
Would you guys take a stranger's collard greens?
No, I wouldn't take a stranger's anything.
No,
Yeah.
I
wouldn't do
not
it either.
collard greens specifically.
Specifically. That's his.
I don't even know if you clean them.
Yeah.
I-
That's like a lot of work that goes into collard
It's a couple things that I won't eat from certain people's houses, like
But this,
even turkey, bitch. I don't like a turkey either.
Son, me and Nikki used to live with one of Nikki's aunts up in Inwood, right, for a time before we got our apartment, and she had a friend, neighbor of hers, that came through with a spaghetti, right, and they brought the spaghetti. They heated it up. They already made it at their house. They brought it over to this apartment. Everybody's eating, and Nikki's aunt's husband, Uncle George, and we're all eating there. And,
He's like, I
they're
made it with my
older,
feet.
they're like older hippie types, right?
Yeah.
They're like older
Okay.
hippie types and artists and stuff. Because a lot of those buildings up there, specifically by 207, closer to the park, were artist buildings. Those people that lived in those buildings were all artists and stuff, and they had fixed rent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like her aunt was there for years. She's been there for since the 80s, I think. So this person is now telling a story about how they raised the pigeon that they nursed back to health.
Oh, no.
The pigeon flies around in their house.
I know where this is going.
And then Uncle George goes, "It flies around your house?" He goes, Yeah, it's just flying around the house. It was in the kitchen when I was cooking. He goes,
Oh.
So everybody just stopped eating at some point and put the bowls down. Like, oh no, we're all eating pigeon spaghetti.
Pigeon shit.
Oh no. Yeah, it just flies around free, man. It's just free. It's a free bird. It's in my apartment, but it's free.
So weird.
It was
so
Not
weird.
it's free.
It made my stomach hurt. I remember that night. I was like, "Oh, I'm not well. Something's wrong."
And also, would you just take somebody's meat in a bag?
No.
I wouldn't do that.
Mm-mm.
It's not allowed.
No. Not interested.
No. And then a lone busker is playing over a voiceover of Faye's lover.
cool.
That was awesome. Talking about how she doesn't want Martha Page included in the film, letting her know to just make it about Faye, make her history, our history before we were all dead and gone. And
She says she thinks it would trouble Faye's soul for people to see her in those mammy pictures.
And then the line where you find out that Cheryl and Diana aren't a thing anymore. Diana and I aren't Diana and I anymore. And then it's become Cheryl's
Wah, wah, wah.
A happy ending.
Yeah. It's become Cheryl's personal passion project and letting June know that even though Faye means different things to them, everyone is drastically similar. And then the ending, what you've all been waiting for, the biography of the Watermelon Woman, Faith Richardson, and going through the entire biography year by year, really just putting an archival spin on this documentary that it almost felt like we were with her archiving this, even though we're watching the making of all of it. It's almost like we have a personal stake in Faye, and that felt like a breath of fresh air. It's something you don't get in a lot of film. And then in the middle of this epilogue, Cheryl puts up a card of all the African-American men and women. This is dedicated to those who were actresses in 30s and 40s who made their bones being a Faye Richards type. Hattie McDaniel, Butterfly McQueen, Essex Hemphill, George Dunier, Tony Bombara. And then the acknowledgement of this being fiction as well. Did you write what the last line was, Don, on the card? Because I didn't.
No, I didn't
write it.
I read it and I didn't write it.
I did the same thing.
I got it right here on the screen. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'll just back
If
it
you
up.
can just get to that, and then we'll do our scores.
We can go ahead and do the scores because I'm rolling the credits right now. I'm literally at the credits. So.
Okay, so really ambitious and beautifully shot film, important in its tone, a little uneven in its technicality, but that's the budget. The acting also not great, but that's the budget. And some of the cutaways really moved me away from the film. Although it is so impressive for a first film, I gave this a 4.1 out of 5. I really enjoyed it.
Kelly, what would you give it? What is
Out of 5? Because it literally has influenced so much of my early career, I'm gonna give it like a 4.7, just because, it's a cult classic in my book at this point, especially for like young Black queer folks. It's definitely a part of the you need to watch.
And it's also wanted as a film too, because if you go on eBay and look this film up just on its regular DVD, you're paying $70 for a regular DVD of this film. Blu-ray is over $300 to buy this.
So it's a rarity because it's a rarity.
And
right?
that's
Yeah.
also recently it just got like a big award recently. It got inducted into something
I
recently.
didn't see. The Congress, the National Congress. In 20
Yes, that
Oh,
yes,
wow.
that's what made it go up. Also.
Yeah. Don.
Big. I went with a 4.5.
Mhm.
This is one of the best films I think we've seen in our show's history so far. It's up there. It's one of the higher scores that we've had, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Sometimes you have to create your own
Mm.
history. The Watermelon Woman is fiction. Cheryl Dunye,
Yeah.
1996. That's the quote. And yeah, this was an excellent suggestion by Felly, which
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
very
you,
grateful
and
for.
highly recommend
You're
this.
welcome.
Yeah.
Highly recommend this film to everyone. This is
Yeah,
this is a great
same
film.
reasoning for points coming off. But it's just budget.
Yeah.
So for budget, that's all. Now we like to do a little silly thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't make sense. But I only recasted 3 people if we were to do it in modern day. Just 3. It's only 3 people I care about.
Okay.
And I would recast it with.
I didn't.
I see my flaw. I already see my flaw because the person that I had in my head to recast it with is not queer as far as I know, but she is a black woman.
Cool.
And only because of correlation of contemporary is Issa Rae.
I could see Issa Rae doing that.
I can see Issa Rae, and then her Tamara would be Natasha Rothwell, who played Kelly, her best friend on that show. And then for Bob, I recasted
David Alan Grier.
Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show.
I would want David Alan Grier to be Bob.
Oh, I could see David.
I would want
Grier.
David Alan Grier to be Bob. So I didn't recast this. It just didn't feel right for me to recast this.
Recastable.
Yeah. So I went. Bob is David Alan Grier though. That's as far as I'm going. I wonder who could you cast Diana as now? Who plays that?
A cringy white woman?
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Wait, no, we have it. It's at the tip of your tongue.
Who's the creator of the show Girls? Lena Dunham.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oof. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Or Amy Schumer, one of the two, interchangeable.
Oh,
Ugh.
Yeah, see what I did?
Oh,
See
even
what I did?
Yeah. You're hurting people.
Anyway, that's it.
We like to give a big special shout out to Cheryl Dunye.
Yeah.
Hopefully she gets to see this one day. Hopefully she's not completely insulted by our lack of expertise.
And we aren't experts. We are amateurs. And I want to say that
and thank you for this film.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for this film. I think it's an important cult classic that needs to be seen, and I think this should be seen probably more often than most of the cult classics, because this is a real East Coast piece of art. It's an East Coast piece of art.
It's a time capsule.
It's
a
is.
Nice time capsule.
You can.
It's shit, man. It's got goddamn 555 numbers. It has videotapes. It has a camcorder. It has payphones.
It got interviews.
It has interviews, on the street interview. This is like a fucking monumental time capsule of the mid 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I can't imagine it was in a lot of theaters to make $42,000. So I would say that that's a win. I don't know how much this costs to make. I can't see it costing more than $5,000 or $6,000 at the time to make.
Right.
So that's a huge win. And then it got its accolades. So.
And still is, obviously, getting its accolades.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. All right. Well, that is wrapping up our, I think at this point, maybe balanced out Women's History Month.
The C plus Women's History Month.
You'll give it a C plus.
Yeah. It's on the meaty part of the curve.
Yeah, it was rough. Next month, we'll be doing, what's next month? April. We'll be doing Ha-Ha's for April. In no particular order, two films that we have on the docket.
I think you called it April Antics, if I'm not mistaken.
That's not what I said. You made that up. Don't put that on me.
That's so funny.
We can call it April Antics. No, yeah, sure. That sounds fine. Don't you put that on me. Because you didn't know if it was going to work, and you put it on me.
At least you know what I'm
It's
doing.
bad, and you know it.
At least you know what I'm doing.
I know your white man tricks. So we have on the docket Dogma,
Mm-hmm.
and also we're going to do what was the other one?
Johnny
We just talked about
Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously. So Dogma is a Kevin Smith film
Mhm.
starring a bunch of his regular actors. That's usually in there. Who's that? Selma Hayek's in there. You got Ben Affleck in there.
Jason Lee,
Jason Lee,
Chris Rock,
you know,
Alanis
Chris Rock.
Morissette,
Alanis Morissette, yeah, she
George
played
Carlin,
Yeah, it's got a lot of motherfuckers. And then you got Johnny Dangerously,
Michael
with
Keaton,
Michael Keaton
Mary
in the
Lou
lead.
Henner,
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah.
I forget who
And
directed
we
that.
you know, like, share, subscribe to the show, you know, below over there. Write in the comments and give us some suggestions for next month. You know what I'm saying? For some comedies. All the decades, all the genres. We'll do it.
Yeah. Make sure
Give us,
Huh?
give us stuff.
give us stuff.
Yeah, give us
us
And
stuff.
make sure
give us stuff.
you bombard us with silent comedies for Don.
No, please
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Silent
Not
film
silent
comedies.
Oh,
You know
God,
you can't do that.
He can't.
No.
He'll be asleep in 3 seconds.
This is true. I'm a baby.
That's the point. That's why he can't do it.
All right, this has been another episode of We'll Fix It in the Post. Old ass movie reviews. We re-review films pre-99 for free 99.
I love that.
Free
Pretty good.
99.
I think we'll put it on a shirt. We're gonna come up with merch
Free
sometime.
99.
Sometime before the summer, we're gonna make some merch and then we'll have it on a TeePublic or
Or
something.
probably a thong, like free 99 on a thong.
No thongs, because people don't really wear that no more.
So I'll wear it. I'll wear it for the
Okay.
show.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Dude,
On my
it was
face. All right.
rough.
Okay, bye, y'all.
Thanks,
I'm
Valley.
tired.
Thank you, Felly.
Mwah.
Appreciate you.